Hello everyone, this is the Crimson Cure, welcoming you to the Crimson Tower, a place where we keep a feminine foot on the neck of the gynocracy, feminism, and black male misandry. So go ahead, pull up a chair, stay a while, and listen.
Vitality is our ability to have spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical bliss. Some call it paradise. We call it a game.
Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I am, of course, your host, the Crimson Cure. And as usual, we're just going to jump right into it. So what are we talking about today? You guys see the title. Are you a feminist or a woman? All right. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I don't think we as women understand that there is a difference. Those two things are mutually exclusive. And we don't see it that way because we equate being a woman with being a feminist or being a feminist with being a woman. But what I want to bring to the attention of all of the ladies within the sound of my voice today is that we're going to have to make a choice. As I've mentioned before on this channel, we have an internal battle that we do as Black women between doing what the gynocracy or feminism tells us we need to do as women in order to be fulfilled, in order to be happy, in order to get the things that we want in life, versus what we feel inside as part of our female nature and what drives us to make the choices that we make and to do some of the things that we do. And those things appear to be conflicting or contradictory most of the time because in reality they are. The reason why it's contradictory is because being a feminist and being a woman are two mutually exclusive states of being. You cannot be a feminist and a woman. And that may sound funny, that may sound contradictory in and of itself because so many women are feminists. And I would challenge that by saying there are females that are feminists, but not women. Now, what am I talking about? What am I really talking about? What I'm really talking about is the fact that feminism denies the truth of female biology. It denies womanhood and femininity by first devaluing it. Okay. It devalues traditional female roles, which have always been based on our biology. See, the traditional gender roles weren't just social constructs that came out of nothing. They came out of what we were good at as women and what was our wheelhouse according to our nature. That is how gender roles became defined the way that they were. But what feminism actually does is devalue the traditional gender role for a woman, specifically by basically saying that there's nothing valuable in that. You don't need to pay attention to your actual biology. And what we're going to do is we're going to replace your biological needs as a woman with ideological needs. In other words, we're going to replace your value system so that you do not value being a traditional woman. This is poo-pooed away. We actually don't value those things and we rail against it. Anything that even looks like traditional femininity, we rail against it. Okay? Any position where we are supplementary or complementary and not primary. Okay. We deny anything according to our biology, except when we can't deny it anymore. We even have things where, I shouldn't have to have a baby, or I shouldn't be expected to have a baby, when only the females of the group can birth the children. We're the only ones that can birth them. So if we don't birth them, who's going to birth them? The men? They can't do it. So what we have to understand is that feminism actually makes us deny our femininity and makes us live in a masculine world. It makes us live in a masculine energy. It makes us think in a masculine way. And thereby we achieve masculine things, but that doesn't fulfill us because we're women. And we need things that men don't need. We need the opposite things that men need. In fact, we need things from them in order to fulfill us. There's a reason why Black women are on the whole very unhappy, because we have not made the choice of whether or not we're going to be a woman or be a feminist, and or many of us have made the choice and decided we're going to be feminists, and then when it's time to be a woman, you're lost. It actually sets us up for failure in parts of our life that require our femininity. This is why we're not very good mothers on the whole, because that mothering requires our femininity. It requires our feminine energy to apply to the child. Being a wife, same thing. It requires our femininity. Okay? Sisterhood requires our femininity. We're masculine this is why we can't get together a good sisterhood, because we see that masculine as a masculine thing. We try and get over on each other. We try to one up each other. We're not trying to assist one another in the trials of being a woman and understanding those things and getting around those things and getting over those things. We too busy trying to be men. We too busy going through life with this masculine mind frame that has not served us. How long we got to watch? How long, sisters, do we have to watch each generation of women fail before we get it through our heads about how this does not end in a happy thing? Most of the women you know that are older women, if you're a younger woman, these women are not truly happy. These women are not truly fulfilled. They can fake like they fulfilled, but they're not. They're not. And how long are we going to follow in footsteps that don't lead us to anywhere but a dead end, and in unhappiness, in bitterness, being angry with the world, being angry with ourselves ultimately, because we couldn't make the right decisions? And then instead of righting the ship with the younger generation, we throw them to the wolves too, just for spite. If I couldn't have it, you can't have it. If I couldn't have a better life, you can't have a better life. Since I didn't make better choices, I'm going to advise you against better choices. This is why I tell young ladies, you can't listen to bitter old women, because bitter old women give you bad advice about your life so that you can end up like them, bitter and old and by yourself. You got to listen to, if you're going to listen to an older woman, you have to listen to one that don't hate men and don't hate her life. Because then she can give you some sound advice coming from a place that's not hurt. That's not coming out of a malicious spirit, or a spirit to want to see you go down that same path as a failure that she did. You got to make a choice between being a feminist and a woman. That's what I told you the other day about Kim Kardashian crying because she's failing as a woman. She made a choice long ago that she was going to be a feminist and go into those ideals and live by them, until her third divorce proved to her that you're not capable of being a good woman. You're not capable of womanhood. You're failing at that. You absolutely failing at that. The things that required her femininity, she was unable to do. Going out and getting money and making business deals, that don't require your femininity. That requires a masculine mind, a masculine mindset to go and get those things done, because that's how men operate. But the places where she needed her femininity the most, she was unable to correctly employ that energy. That's because a long time ago, she made the choice along with her mother and her sisters that they was going to be a gynocratic hyena clan and not women. It's two mutually exclusive things. So if you want to have a life where you're being fulfilled as a woman, then you got to choose to live like a woman. Because you're not going to be able to get the fulfillment of a woman living like a man with the value system of men that serve men well but don't serve you well. So when are we going to start serving ourselves, Black women? When are we going to start thinking about what we actually need versus what the sisterhood of gynocrats say we need? What the media says we need, what the Democrats say we need, what the left say we need, what progressives say we need. When are we going to start listening to what we really need on the inside as women? When are we going to start doing that? When are we going to choose happiness? When are we going to choose peace and fulfillment? We live such chaotic, troublesome lives because we constantly working against our own nature. Anything that works against its intended purpose, it ends up useless and worthless. It ends up garbage. If you buy anything and that thing don't perform the way you expect it to, the way the manufacturer said it would, it's instantly garbage. If you buy a pot and pan set and as soon as you turn it on, it warp and burn, it's useless. I don't care that it's shaped like a pan or a pot. I don't care that it came in a box like a pan or a pot. It's not really a pan or a pot because you can't use it for its intended purpose. So it's garbage. And that's what women become when we choose to be feminists. We turn into garbage because we stop operating according to our actual intended purpose and the nature of our feminine nature. We stop acting on that. And we start acting in these other ways that's against what we're built for. And thus we become garbage. Thus we become somebody's jump off. We become somebody's side chick. We become somebody's afterthought. When really we want to become somebody's number one. And we can't do that. Because in order to be the number one in your category, you have to perform according to your manufacturers, your manufacturing. You have to perform according to what you were built to do. And you have to do it well. That's how you become number one. Going back to the pot and pan analogy, the best pots and pans are the ones that perform the best. Every time, the most reliable, they do what they're meant to do. This is why cast iron skillets and pots ain't never went nowhere in hundreds of years. Because as simple as they are, they're extremely effective. A cast iron skillet can cook you anything from a ribeye steak to the most delicate fluffy eggs. Same pan. Because it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's acting according to its purpose and it's doing it well. We don't do it well. As long as we're going to keep juggling whether or not we want to be feminists and want to be women, we're never going to do well, sisters. We're not going to do well. You're not going to be fulfilled. You're not going to have peace. You're not going to be able to rest in your femininity. Because in order to rest in your femininity, you're going to have femininity first. Okay? You can't rest in no energy you're not cultivating and that you don't really have. Ain't no rest for a woman that's constantly being masculine. It ain't no rest for her. So I just wanted to come to you guys today and let you know there's a choice to be made. And we resolve that issue by understanding what our value system should be. Because feminism is a value system, but it's wrong for us. It doesn't serve us as women at all. So we need to find a value system that serves us as women and stop being so proud. And stop being so arrogant in your wrongdoing. You loud and wrong. Feminism got you loud and wrong. And we just need to humble ourselves and admit to that. It is what it is. So we're either going to live by a wayward value system named feminism, or we're going to choose to live how women are supposed to live and have our own value system that values us as women, that honors our needs, that honors what our nature is, and gives us a way to actually go and fulfill that in a peaceful, graceful manner. So go ahead and sound off in the comment section. I want to know your thoughts on this. Is it two different things in your mind, or is being a woman and a feminist, that's not a different choice? So whether you agree or disagree, I definitely want to hear everyone's thoughts on this subject. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you have not. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.